Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about some landing spots for Aaron Rodgers if he does end up being traded. So there's much speculation around that Aaron Rodgers is going to be traded because the big story with them and Green Bay, they're having big problems as it seems like a kind of a given at this point. They've kind of started when they like before they drafted Jordan Love. After Aaron Rodgers got paid, he was just like thinking, both sides of the bargain. He posted on Twitter or something along the lines like both sides need to do their jobs even after like he got paid and such. And after that, when the Packers went after Jordan Love in the draft, in a very deep receiver draft where they traded up, not only to draft Jordan Love but to pass on receivers and like Michael Pittman Jr. and T. Higgins. They came out saying that they thought Justin Jefferson was going to be there, but he ends up not being there. I think that's a BS, kind of a lie. But I think they moved, and then they had a few other picks where they went, they went AJ Dillon in the second round. They went a tight end in the third round. Kind of signs kind of pointed to that they're getting ready for the post Aaron Rodgers era. And Aaron Rodgers, of course, not happy about that because Aaron Rodgers could really use a receiver outside of Devontae Adams. There's really no consistent receiver there. Allen Lazard has a game here or there that is really solid. There's a guy like MVS, Marquise Valdez-Scantling. He's a big downfield threat, but he's a bit inconsistent as well. The Packers, they're kind of in a mess right now with Aaron Rodgers. They just don't want to help the dude out. They just, it could really go both ways here because how could you say that the Packers really aren't helping them out? Because if you look at the receiving core, it's actually not that terrible. Allen Lazard, he has decent games here and there. MVS has decent games here and there. They all they both have decent games. But of course Devontae Adams is the number one guy in that system. And then Robert Tonyan, a solid tight end in that group. The offensive line is one of the best of the NFL. You have one of the elite running backs in the NFL. You re-sign him to a team-friendly deal. He's an amazing pass catcher. He's an amazing runner. He is an elite running back. So Aaron Rodgers definitely has some stuff to work with, some talent to work with there. So, I'm not gonna say he doesn't have talent to work with. He definitely does. But maybe getting another a consistent receiver to go along with Devontae Adams would be nice because, like I stated, Lazard and MVS aren't really, consistent enough to help, Aaron Rodgers out enough to be consistent to, make a run to the Super Bowl, or a deep playoff run. They did make the conference championship the last 2 years only to fall short, and then versus the 49ers, they sucked big time. The 49ers, they just got killed. And then the year after that, it's just, Aaron Rodgers has many chances to go down and, to either tie the game or, score a touchdown, but he didn't. And then you had that big controversial call where, they opted to kick the field goal. I think that was a big mistake, putting a conference title championship game in the hands of the most clutch and greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady. Maybe they're trying to tell Aaron Rodgers they don't trust him, which is stupid, or maybe they just did it out of spite. You never know. But I think Aaron Rodgers and LaFleur's relationship isn't bad. I don't think that relationship is really bad. But let's get into some of these trade destinations for Aaron Rodgers. If he ultimately does end up getting traded, I'm just gonna go through some teams, that can possibly trade for him in no particular order here. But there are teams here that could definitely be more in play than others. First one I'm going to say, I'm kind of going to go off the list I have here. I'm going to look at the lower ones, the lower percentage ones, and I'm going to go to Pittsburgh Steelers in one. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers can maybe, reach out and just see. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers will really be all in on a trade because, I think they're all in on Big Ben. They don't really have the cap room. They don't really have, the draft capital. They don't really have what it takes to pull off a trade like this. I think they're happy to stick with their guy in Big Ben. And then The next team I'm gonna go with is the New York Jets. What might surprise some people, but what's wrong with bringing in a guy like Aaron Rodgers with the weapons you have? You drafted a guy in Elijah Moore, and you have a guy in Denzel Mims, and you have a few guys there that can really be solid weapons for him. The offensive line has improved. You have Elijah Vera Tucker, Mekhi Becton, and you have a few other solid offensive linemen on that team. The running back position, Michael Carter, he is a solid young stud to steal the draft probably. So would it be a bad idea to bring in Aaron Rodgers? Maybe let Zach Wilson sit a year or two. But I don't really see that because if you're gonna spend a number 2 overall pick on a quarterback, you don't want to wait a year or two, and then do you really want to give away 2 future firsts for a quarterback? That's gonna if he does bring it to the Super Bowl, maybe it's worth it. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you just use a second overall pick on a quarterback that you think is going to be ready for day one, and that's going to make a big impact day one. So I don't really think the Jets are that much in play, but they might give a call. You never know. The next one here, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think it's a possibility to think. I think there's a legit reason why you think the Panthers could be going after Aaron Rodgers. Do you really, it's kind of a situation where are you going to take Sam Darnold or Aaron Rodgers? If you have the chance to go get a guy like Aaron Rodgers to play with those stud receivers you have there, go get him. Could you imagine him, McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson? That'd be nasty. And their offensive line is improving a little bit, so I think that'd be a solid spot for him. So, the question comes down there, are they willing to, give up that trade capital? I honestly think they're going to stick with their guy in Sam Darnold, and I don't think they're going to go for the trade, and then you have a team, in the Saints. I think the Saints could maybe be in play after their retirement of Drew Brees. They could definitely be in the play for a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Two guys that aren't exactly franchise guys at this point, but maybe Jameis Winston sitting behind Drew Brees for a year or two, or for that year. Maybe Jameis Winston's a different quarterback. Maybe he's a little more conservative. Maybe he doesn't throw as many picks. Maybe he still throws a decent amount of touchdowns, but not as many picks. I really don't think Taysom Hill is the guy, but I think they already have enough competition in that quarterback room. They don't really have the cap room. They don't really have the cap room to really pull off that trade, and I think they need to focus elsewhere in that team. Maybe on defense a little more, maybe on. I just think the Saints have a little more that they need to focus on than quarterback. So yeah, and then we'll go with the team like the Eagles. I think the Eagles, might be a team that'll be in play for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it will happen because the Eagles really are not ready to win now. They're not ready to really go put all the chips in and go win now. They don't have a roster capable of that. They have 2 young receivers that are capable. They have young tight ends. If Zach Ertz stayed, they have him. They have a young running back in Miles Sanders. And an aging old line that is very injury prone. So I don't know about that one. And the defense definitely needs some work. The defensive line needs some help. Linebackers need some help. Safeties, the Eagles can mainly use just about everything, but they did draft a guy in Devontae Smith. Actually, I forgot to mention him as well. I really don't think the Eagles will be in play because they have too much to work on other than quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a young guy. Work on him, try to develop him. Don't go out and give away your future and draft picks, 2, 3 first-round picks for a guy, instead of building your roster around your young guy and Jalen Hurts. Why he's not on a big deal. And then you go to the other teams that I think are more likely. I think these last 4 teams I'm going to talk about are the top 4 teams maybe, or no, top 5 teams, Then you go to a team like the Dolphins. I think a team like the Dolphins is the least likely team to get them out of these next 4 teams I'm going to talk about, but I think, I think the Dolphins would be a solid option. I think the Dolphins would be willing to give up a bit of cap or a bit of draft capital to go get a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Maybe let Tua sit behind him for a year and learn a little bit. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Dolphins are committed with Tua. I don't think they really want to leave Tua. I think they're happy where they are with Tua. They're happy building around him. So I don't really think the Dolphins will be a team that really goes and gets him, but I think it's possible. Definitely a name to definitely a team to throw into that conversation. And then you go to these next four teams are really the four teams that could really be between. I have the 49ers as one of those teams. Yeah, they just drafted Trey Lance because they needed a quarterback. If they want to go after a guy Aaron Rodgers, I'm all for it. You give up Jimmy G, or probably not because the Packers may want to start Jordan Love, but maybe you do give up Jimmy G. Maybe you give up a first for the next 2 years, and then maybe a second. And then with that Jimmy G, that might make up for that second because quarterbacks have more value than many other positions. It's just how the NFL works. But I think the 49ers would be a solid destination. Because then maybe you could even bring in Trey Lance on some fun packages, fun Wildcats. That'd be fun. But I definitely see the 49ers getting aggressive and going after a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Because this team is ready to win now. A guy like Trey Lance could really benefit from a guy in Aaron Rodgers coming in. Helping him out. I don't really think Aaron Rodgers is actually a guy that would do that though. We've seen a situation with Jordan Love, but maybe he comes into the 49ers organization in the change of scenery, the change of coaching staff. Maybe he appreciates more, and he really does help the rookie out. Because he knows he's not going to be around forever, and maybe he will help them out. Maybe he will help the rookie in Trey Lance. So now that I'm really thinking of it more, I don't really know if the 49ers are going to be in it. Because, I was talking about earlier with Zach Wilson. Do you really draft a guy that high to just, let him go sit? And then trade away your future to build around him even more? To get a guy that's older, I get he's Aaron Rodgers and he's a really good quarterback. He does plan to play in his 40s, but you have a young guy on a rookie deal, as I'm thinking of it more, maybe the 49ers aren't, a solid option, but, at the end of the day, they are, so the 49ers is a team to look out for in these conversations, and then the next three are probably my top three. You have the Broncos. I think the Broncos are a team that could really be in it for Aaron Rodgers because, the Broncos are never had a good QB since the likes of Peyton Manning. They've been very mediocre since, always going out signing mediocre quarterbacks, poorly drafting quarterbacks, trading for mediocre quarterbacks, and Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is a solid runner, but I don't think, he's that game changer. He's more of the, premium game manager who can, take off. He could run. He's athletic, and he could also, throw it down the field. He could throw some nice bombs, but, he's not a game changer. He's a game manager. If you need him to make a big play once in a while, he will. Whether it's on the ground or in the air, so, But I could definitely see the Broncos being aggressive and going after Rodgers because, the Broncos are just that team. Maybe they trade Teddy to the Broncos, or maybe they trade Teddy to the Rodgers, to the Packers, and Teddy helps out Jordan Love, which I think would be really possible. Then what would they do with Drew Lock and stuff? They have a lot of, players that they need to figure out on quarterback too. But, the Broncos is a team that's always looking to get better quarterback. And they're not scared to, they will go out and they will trade stuff for him. Maybe they give Teddy Bridgewater and a few future firsts, because that offense is really good. And I actually think that the Broncos are getting ready to enter a stage where they're ready to win. But they're missing that quarterback. Is Teddy Bridgewater that guy that's going to bring them to the Super Bowl? Is he that deep playoff run guy? I don't know. He's a really good supporting cast around him, but I don't know if he's that guy to really bring you places. So going after a guy in Aaron Rodgers could really change that. And, these other two teams are also NFC East teams, and the Washington football team and the New York Giants. Both of these teams are in positions where their defenses, both really solid defenses, both really solid, receiving core, really solid running backs. The offensive line has gotten better. I could really see a guy like Aaron Rodgers really improving one of these two teams. One of these two teams can really, benefit from the services of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I get the Giants got Daniel Jones and he's young, but you're gonna tell me that if the Giants have a chance to go out there and acquire a guy like Aaron Rodgers, or keep Daniel Jones, I think they should go after a guy in Aaron Rodgers. That guy Aaron Rodgers will take them going from maybe an 8, 9, 10 win team to maybe NFC champions and maybe going to the Super Bowl. I could honestly see that, you know. Same goes for the Washington football team. You know, I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick is the guy. You know, he's an awesome dude. And, you know, we all really want to see him go places and win a Super Bowl, or you know, he's probably not going to win a Super Bowl, but we'd all like to see him win a playoff game. So, you know, it'd really be nice to see Ryan Fitzpatrick do something. But at the end of the day, you know, it's the NFL, and you can't be scared to get better. And you have to go out and get a better quarterback. You have to go out and get better. You can't be scared to go out and get better, because, you know, that's what winning teams do. They go out and they get better. Um, you know, so, you know, those were some of the trading spots that Aaron Rodgers may possibly be going to. It's very possible for, you know, him to go to any of these teams, but, you know, some much more likely than others. You know, I don't really see the Jets. I don't really see the Saints. You know, maybe not the Broncos, the Pittsburgh Steelers, probably not. The Eagles, probably not. But, you know, all these teams are very possible. So, I guess we'll see what happens. I guess we'll see if he actually stays in Green Bay. Do you guys think he's going to stay in Green Bay? You know, it's a big question right now. Big if, big what if. You know, and if he does leave Green Bay, who do you think he's going to go? You know, will he go to Washington football team? Will he go to the Giants? Will he go to the Broncos, the Panthers, the Saints, the Eagles, 49ers, the Dolphins, the Jets? All very possible spots for Aaron Rodgers to end up. So, let me know what you guys think. And, you know, this was a really fun video to make, just like all the other ones. I always enjoy you guys. You know, you guys are the reason that you know, I'm doing this YouTube channel, and you guys are the ones, you know, making it much more fun. You know, if I was doing this by myself, not talking to anyone, what fun would it be? You guys are the ones that, you know, make the channel fun. You know, it's fun talking to you guys in the comment section. You know, so if you guys really enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button, leave a subscribe. You know, and that's gonna be it for this video. So I really appreciate you watching, and as always, I'll catch you later.